welcome back to Subnautica. This is, I believe, episode 5. The first time I did this, I ended up playing for about an hour and broke up the recording into 15-minute sections. If possible, I'm going to try to actually record in 15 to 20-minute sections instead, so I've got an opening and a closing on all of them. Now, the first thing I should probably do is deal with a bit of a food situation. I'm running a little low on water. And actually, I don't honestly think I've got enough to fix it, but that'll help. I also want to kind of clear out my inventory a little bit. Let's see. Oh, so in the meantime, in between the last 4 episodes, I suppose, and this one, they've done a bit of an update. Now these life pod signals, which just used to be signals with nothing attached to them, actually have the information on them. So that one right there has a radiation suit, which I don't care about because I've already got one. And that one over there says that the Seamoth Bay collapsed around them, which means that we want the laser cutter. Now, if I remember correctly, at the end of the last episode, we said that we want the laser cutter, which requires a diamond and battery and titanium, but, you know, we can get those things. The hard part's going to be the diamond. And actually, I should check, do we have copper? We do not currently have copper either, so that's something that we should do. I'm going to take out the water and put in this silver. No, it's not a message, it's a first aid kit. Okay, so we actually do have quite a few first aid kits. I'd like to put some of this stuff away, I just don't have room to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm actually going to turn some of this titanium into another titanium ingot. I'm not sure that we're going to need that anytime soon, but I just want to free up the space. And then I can drop everything else in there, drop the signal, everything else I should probably keep on me. Okay, so I believe that the things that I was focusing on were the laser cutter, which means that I need a diamond, and I also want to get the propulsion cannon, which I have to get the blueprint for. I also said that I would need a couple of fire extinguishers. I think I've got one, which means that I really probably don't need any more than that. So while I'm out and about, I'm gonna grab a fish, thank you. And I think I'm gonna go for the diamond first. Now, I know that the diamonds can be found on the floating island, along with some other stuff that I'd probably better get to. So where... Oh, there it is. Whoops. I actually lost track of the Seamoth there for a second. So I know the floating islands have the diamonds, and I know the floating islands are basically straight away from the Aurora. So what I'm going to do is just head straight this way. And I should actually, maybe I should get a compass. A compass would probably help to be able to figure out which direction I'm going. And then I could say, you know, which direction these things are in, instead of just basing everything off of the Aurora. But on that note, it is still, the Aurora is like the biggest landmark that's easily visible from pretty much anywhere on the map. So if you ever need to figure out where you're going, you can just base it off of the Aurora. Another thing I noticed when I was going over my recordings from, you know, the last time that I played, is that they definitely are hitching quite a bit. Unfortunately, that's not something I'm going to be able to help. I did try recording with some other software, just to see if, you know, maybe different software would work better, but it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like no matter which software I'm using... Oh, that's the mushroom forest. The mushroom forest isn't a bad area to be in. It's actually got quite a bit that you want in it. but that's not what I'm looking for right now. So let's see if I can... I think that if this is one... So there's multiple mushroom forests. If this is one of them, the other one's probably... Or rather, the floating islands are probably over here. Oh, look. There's floating rocks. That's a good sign. What was I saying? Recording software. Yeah, I noticed that the recording is pretty hitchy. Unfortunately, that's just due to the limitations of my computer, mostly, and the game itself. Like I said, the performance really isn't the best currently. I'm driving back towards the space, or the life pod, which is what I don't want to... Oh, hello. Don't want to do. I want to actually be headed away from it a bit. Oh, I am right up next to the Aurora. Wow, I got turned around. Okay, so let's do this instead. So I know that the mountain island is covered by a cloud so that you can't see it from a distance away. So it's probably... Stop that. Right over there. So that's probably the mountain island, somewhere in that direction. Oh look, there's actually, you can start seeing it now. So the floating islands are going to be sort of to the left of that mountain island. Unfortunately, you can't really... So, I know that there's a way to look up, like, the coordinates of where you are, but I've never really figured out how to do that. I think it's actually game commands that you have to use, and since I'd rather not be using game commands, I'd rather just play the game, you know, in its natural state. Holy crap, that locked up quite a bit. Since I'd rather play the game in its natural state, that means that I really don't want to be using those commands. This looks right. I think. Yeah, this is it. So these are the floating islands. Obviously they are in fact floating. The reason they're floating is because of these floaty creatures attached to them. And yes, I am passing the safe depth. I have to be careful because, like, the floating islands are decently deep. And the sea moth has a maximum depth of about 200 meters, which is pretty good, but not amazing. Oh my goodness, game, please. So there's my diamond that I need. I'm going to grab a second one just because, and while I'm here I'm also going to pick up some quartz because I think I'm going to need it. I don't need the salts. I don't need a lot of diamonds, and those shark-looking things will totally kick my ass if I let them. Stop it, go away. No, piss off. So I'm just gonna... Oh, there's a propulsion cannon fragment, which is good. So I'm just gonna look around in these boxes and see if there's anything useful in the area. The other thing about this area is that you can get the Cyclops engine fragments from it, which is something that you need to build the Cyclops, which is, of course, something that I'm going to want to build. The Cyclops is the big sub, where the sea moth is small and fast. The Cyclops is big and slow, but it's also got a lot of storage space and... Oh, nice, copper. So it's really good to get. I'd really like to... Titanium. I'd really like to get another copper while I'm here, or maybe find some more blueprints. I did find that one propulsion cannon fragment, obviously. But that's not gonna be enough. I need one more. I do want this quartz. Anything in here? I think I've checked these already. Yeah, I have. And I think I've checked those.
30 seconds.
There's my pod. Okay, I'm not too worried. I just want to make sure I've got a general idea of where it is, so I don't get stuck underwater.
Oxygen.
Yes, I know. There we go. Alright, I don't actually know how long I've been playing right now, but I've got the diamond, so I'm gonna head back to base.
Passing safe depth.
Just kind of want to take one last look around. Oh, that's... Yo! Dude, rude. Oh, they can damage the sea moth. That's interesting. I didn't know they could. That right there is a fragment that I want. I think that's the power cell? Yeah, power cell charger. So this is actually really handy. So you can't actually recharge the power cells without having the recharger fragments, or you can't build the recharger without the fragments, rather. Go away. You're bugging me. So it's obviously a pretty good thing to have. I'd like to find more of those fragments while I'm here, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find them all while I'm out and about. On this trip, that is. Obviously, if I can't find them all on this trip, then I'll just come back later. But it would be really nice to complete the blueprint while I'm out here.
30 seconds.
I'm not seeing anything else offhand though, so I think I might just call it a day and head back to base, because I got what I came here for, which is the diamond. And I think that the power cell charger can actually be found elsewhere as well. I could be wrong on that one.
Passing safe depth.
And I'm also kind of running a little bit low on water, which is something that I'm going to need to fix. But while I'm here, I might as well look around inside the wreck. There are blueprints inside of the wrecks. You just have to be careful because, you know, the further you go inside of the wreck, the less time you're going to have to get back out.
New blueprint acquired.
A couple of blueprints, nothing useful. Oh, there's a stasis rifle fragment, which I've already got. But that would be useful if I hadn't gotten it already. And there's a bunch of, there are a bunch of blueprints in here. They're just not super useful blueprints. Still, it's all stuff that I could use. Oh, and here's a power cell charger fragment. Do I only need 2 of those? Nice, perfect. Okay, so I need to get back out. Where is my exit? I'd rather not drown. It's in the next room. Phew, that was close. Alright, actually my sea moth could use a repair. It's down to 70%. Energy's doing fine. My water's getting pretty low. I don't want to be here too much longer. I think I'm going to finish this trip and cut the episode there. I don't know if I should cut out all the travel time. Actually, I might just end it after this and just not show the travel time, because there's really no reason to. I'll show the first part, getting out here. Simply because getting out here, I actually, you know, was doing a little bit of showing how to get here and all that, but getting back is just going to be a matter of following the ping, like just driving towards the life pod. 30 seconds. Can I get into the next room? No, I can't get into the next room because I need the laser cutter, so I do need to head back now in order to build the laser cutter. I'm also running a little bit low on energy.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
There we go. Ah! Okay. So as I said, are my lights on? Yes, they are. It's just super dark. Okay, so I've got the diamond. I got the power cell fragments, which are power cell recharger fragments, which is really good. And on that note, I'd also like to get the battery recharging fragments, because batteries are going to be what I'm going to be using most of the time, so it would be good to have those. But I think I'm going to cut the video here. I think it's been about 20 minutes. When I get back, I will build... Oh, a life pod. Why not? High capacity tank, extra air capacity. Wicked!
New blueprint. Caution.
That's really cool.
Hydration detected. Fluid intake recommended.
Okay, cool. Well, that's a cool little thing to have on the end of the video. Got another bit of titanium, which I don't care about right now. My inventory is actually doing pretty well. Alright, so I guess I'll end the video here then, and I will see you guys next time. Good find on this life pod. The extra air capacity tank's going to be pretty cool. So, ending it here, and I will see you in the next episode.